All right, here we go. Touching Tips, episode 45.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hi. What do we got? We got a new pope. Kanye West is dropping Hail Hitler songs.
I saw a funny one. It said it took him less days to decide on a new pope than it took for Shedeur Sanders to get drafted.
Yeah.
He's a day 3 guy. They figured out the pope in 48 hours.
They I guess Mel Kiper's was on his way out at ESPN. I think he's gone now, right?
Mel Kiper?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I think a lot of people, like the NFL conspiracy theorists, say that he was artificially pumping up Shedeur Sanders on his draft board just so to get a kickback from the Sanders family kind of thing.
No way.
Yeah, that's however much you want to believe that.
Yeah.
If his journalistic integrity was for sale or not, but they a lot of people seem to think that Mel Kiper was beating the table for Shedeur Sanders a lot because Dion was probably kicking him some money.
Have you ever seen Mad Mel on Pat McAfee's podcast?
No. Is it like a Mel Kiper
It's like how that one dude does Dr. Phil.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not Dr. Phil, but this guy is and they do draft coverage, and he...
I feel like they stole that idea from me. Do you remember, were you in the league back when I used to have a lot of time and I would write out the fucking I would have a weekly or a bi-weekly write-up where I would just make fun of everybody?
Maybe in the first year I was in that.
Well, one of my recurring things was I would have a Mel Kiper, a fucking Bizarro World Mel Kiper, where it's he's a divorced alcoholic dad who takes shits in his neighbor's bird baths and shit, and
Kel Miper.
yeah. So I feel like they stole that idea from me.
It's possible.
Yeah. I mean, all the 8 people that read that.
I feel like they also have this Boston guy on the show.
Yeah.
And he is San Diego Whale's vagina.
I feel like the Boston guy on just about every sports show is usually the most obnoxious fucking guy there.
Nah, this dude isn't like a Sully.
Philly fans and Boston fans, I feel
He's
like
a likable Sully.
Barstool Sports has that element too, where there's a couple Philly guys on Barstool Sports, and one of them is intolerable. Actually,
I don't
he looks
know who that is.
Yeah, he's got a beard. He looks like you don't follow baseball anymore, right? Not at all.
I guess I don't. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say he looks exactly like there's a guy Nick Castellanos on the fucking Phillies, and he looks like a fat version of him. It's almost like he saw him and was like, "That's a good look. I'm gonna take it." And it's yeah, but you're fat and stupid looking, so not really, dude. So
he ordered his look from Wish.com.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
yeah.
funny.
He's the Temu version of Nick Castellanos.
Temu overtaking Wish. Big time.
Yeah. So anyway, what are we going to talk about? Stefon Diggs is going to fuck Travis Hunter's girlfriend. Definitely going to. Yeah.
Well,
did you work at the spot when he came through? Was that pre or post you leaving?
Must have been post.
Post. He obviously has a girlfriend and whatnot, but he rolled pretty deep with a gaggle of prostitutes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He was sitting courtside with Cardi B.
Yeah. I think he's either married or he's engaged or something, but either way.
Now, do you know about his antics, Stefon Diggs?
Yeah, well, he's like a fucking serial fucking.
He's like a serial wife fucker.
Yeah. Wife fucker, teammate wife fucker.
So there's a reported scandal that he fucked Cardi B while she was pregnant with Offset's child.
Oh shit!
I don't know if you're up on your rapper TMZ
I'm not, but
stuff
I just
or
assume
not.
it's a rapper.
But and then I read more into it when this came out in the off season.
This past off season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Patriots are okay with this. They're oh, we heard that story about you fucking that pregnant lady. I guess
you're in.
Here's $70 million. Yeah. So I don't know. I was never too souped about signing him in the first place.
I mean, he's coming off of an ACL or is it an Achilles?
Something not good.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he didn't get hurt. He got hurt in season. So I think it was week 5 or something when he got hurt.
Yeah.
So it's is he going to be ready for week 1? I mean, now he's on the wrong side of 30. He's 32, something like that. So
I don't know.
We'll see.
I stopped paying as hardcore attention to him after I traded him to you.
Dude, honestly, there was nobody who was a bigger Stefon Diggs guy than me.
I remember.
I drafted him as a Terp, and I was like, dude, I fucking love this guy. He was a 4th rounder. Fucking guy just was a stud. And then I was pumped to meet him, and he was just a just an aloof weirdo who, like, he was one of those guys who just showed up and was like, oh, we need to use the side door because I don't want to be recognized. It's like, nobody knows who the fuck you are, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're the fifth
Bro,
best.
you're some fucking black guy in Providence.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
nobody fucking...
You're the fifth best wide receiver in football, which makes you as about as recognizable as like a bench guy
Yeah.
in the NBA, you know? But yeah, so he pulled with that shit, and like I said, he showed up with like fucking 9 girls from Desires. And all he did was sit in the corner and have like one drink while they like racked up a bill on his ass. So it's like, so you're just like a fucking bitch for these girls.
Yeah,
you know?
you
and,
cuck.
yeah, and then they all fucking took off. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure I'm not supposed to be talking about that, but I don't really care.
You know where I lost him at too?
What?
Is what like when a bro tells me that he's into fashion,
Yeah.
he's into fashion.
Oh yeah.
Like he was at the Met Gala with like some silly outfit,
Yeah.
and they were like comparing.
There's a lot of people at the Met Gala though, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I remember one time Tommy went to the Met Gala and people were like crushing him, and like all
Yeah.
he really had was like gold crosses on his suit jacket.
Yeah.
Like that was the offensive accessory that he showed up with.
Yeah.
Stefan Diggs has like a fucking like a fur, you know what I mean, wrapped around with dragging on the ground, and I'm pretty
Showed up
sure.
looking like an extra from Coming to America.
Yeah, he had like he either had on some kind of like reptile skinned like red dress shoes, or they were like blinged out with like rubies or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just saw it and I was like,
See,
like-
Joe Burrow showed up too.
he's
Met
about
Gala?
fashion.
Oh yeah, he's all about that shit.
What did he look like?
He looked like a. You remember Linda Ronstadt, like the.
I don't know who that.
Or no,
lady
I'm thinking
is.
of Paula Poundstone, the fucking female
I
comedian
vaguely
from like the
remember her.
80s.
Yeah, did she wear like that cabbie hat?
Well, she wore like the fucking like women's like pantsuits with like the
Yes.
big shoulders. That's kind of what he looked like. Yeah. Yeah, there's Joey swag for you.
See, that's not bad.
I don't know. Well, first of all, the dude's wearing sneakers, which right off the bat, you're just like, what are you doing? Rocking a suit with sneakers.
Yeah, even me, like the biggest like Jordan dude that there is. Like, there's been multiple times
Yeah.
where I've like put on dress clothes and been like, all right, I'm gonna rock some J's with this,
Yeah.
and then I get it going, and,
And
I'm
you're
like,
just like, something's not right.
I'm
you know?
like, let me get these dress shoes back on. I look foolish.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like getting to the 1 yard line and then just like, kicking the field goal. It's like, dude, you just take it all the way. You got to get a nice pair of dress shoes.
I'm trying to think of like who popped like around the time of Paula Poundstone, there was like a Boston cabbie hat that was like super like what's that shit called? Like if you get your like it was like a caricature version of this Boston cabbie hat.
So,
Like a
are we
bigger,
talking
more
like Kangol or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, like that. Well, like Bruce Arians used to wear all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like even more terrible. Like it's like floppier.
Yeah.
And there's like a button on the
Right.
back.
It's almost like a hybrid between a fucking Boston cabbie hat and a
like somebody who
like a
worked on
beret almost.
Like yeah,
Yeah.
or like somebody who worked on a train in
Yeah.
like the 1850s or something.
all aboard.
But anyway, I've been seeing there's one lady that works at the airport. And
Yeah.
she wears those kind of hats. And then I met another lady waiting on her at the airport, and she had on that hat. And I just got to tell you that if you see that thing, it's like a precursor for like you're gonna be listening to some woke
Yeah. Well, there's a particular
environmentalist.
yeah.
like.
There's a particular person who buys a hat like that.
Like while you're having this conversation, like a female might lose an armpit hair out of nowhere.
Oh God. She's shedding
You know
like a
what I'm saying?
fucking
Yeah.
llama. Yeah.
Or like they're going to inform you about like this horrible tasting toothpaste
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
Yeah. It's made from fucking all natural ingredients.
Yeah. I can't take it.
Yeah.
Like the one lady now they're doing like a floor renovation at the airport. So like they're slowly but surely they like
Like the main concourse area?
yeah.
Like the carpeting?
yes.
Yeah.
So they're like, they take like this, like, I don't know, like barrier, they frame this big room out of
Yeah.
this barrier and they're doing whatever in there.
Yeah.
Right. And so now they have enveloped the closest bathroom and water filling station and family bathroom / lactation room, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So now like our bathroom access is like so much further away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to start now. You're getting all these people who like have to be hydrated. It's very important. They can't take a 3-hour
Yeah.
plane ride and they're gonna dehydrate.
And
to
God
death.
forbid they walk for fucking 4
Yes.
minutes.
And it's
Yeah.
just like all of these people with these silly hats and these silly beliefs in life are now bothering me
Yeah.
because of this.
Oh, what, are they
updated
coming up to you and being like, can you fill this water bottle?
Yes.
Oh, dude, go fuck yourself.
I'm like, it just made me think, like, would you ever, like, if you were parched and you were running an errand to CVS or something like that, would you go into you don't know what Beef O'Brady's is.
Yeah.
What am I trying to think of? Some
Well, whatever, though.
some wing joint.
When I go into a
whose name-
fucking restaurant and be like,
I'd be
can
like,
you fill
hey,
up this
can I-
water bottle?
Or even like, can I just have an ice water? Like, I'm not a customer here, but
Yeah.
can you do something for me?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm not out of my mind.
No, not at all.
to
As a
be
matter
like,
of fact,
what?
if I were to do it, no, I'm not saying I would even like. I don't think I would ever do it. But if I were to do it, for sure, I would be like, hey, can you? You know, my kids are with me. Hey, can you fill up these 2 water bottles? Cool, thanks, man. Here's a 5. You
Yeah.
know, like I would do that.
Yeah, because one out of every maybe 50 people
Throw you money.
do give you money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's not that. Maybe 1 out of 20.
All right.
And it's like,
So it's like just barely worth it enough to be like, all right, I'll do this for the fucking 10% chance that I'm actually going to get rewarded for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like it's not, it goes further. I feel like this is a good thing to talk about on for like a hospitality thing. You know what I mean? Just like the concept of just being nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's a pain in the ass. It's a difficult thing to do. Like, I catch myself being an asshole.
Oh yeah.
And it's a lot easier to be an asshole at the airport because, like, the amount of stupidity that you're just front and center with the whole time, you're like, bro.
Yeah. Especially if you
what?
get caught at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I find myself, and I also, a lot of other people at the airport are fucking grumpy. And the customers tell you that, like, wow, you're a lot nicer than everybody else that works here. And you're like, I know, I'm trying. I'm working hard.
I'm still new enough where I feel
On
it
my
in my
craft.
bones still. Yeah.
But that's like the point that I'm trying to make, though, is like the reward, like you look at it like, all right, maybe I got a 1 in 20 chance that this person is going to throw me a 5 for doing this, right?
Yeah.
But it's you doing it with a smile on your face and being nice to those people while you've probably heard this before, like when you're back behind the bar, it's like you're the show.
Yeah.
Or you're on stage. You know what I mean? It's like you just conveying that niceness, that no problem, keeping a smile on your face, not rolling your eyes, like all the things that I immediately want to do.
Yeah.
When you were like, can you fill? And it's not even just like a fucking 16-ounce water thing. You
So
know
it's
what I
like
mean?
the big thermos.
It's for like a
so you're
fucking,
sitting there with the gun for like 5 fucking minutes.
It's like something like I could beat you to death with this thing before my shitty soda gun fills it up.
Exactly.
So now what I did is like now I helped this. We have 1 water pitcher. I don't know why we only have 1. I don't know. I'm going to do something about this, I guess, and buy one on Amazon and bring it in. But we have 1 water pitcher, right? And we
Yeah.
just fill it up with the sink water. Fuck you. But nobody sees it though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's just sitting there. And sometimes the server's like, yo, I'm really busy. Can you please fill this up for me? I'm like, yo, this is now our water pitcher. I will keep it filled up for you, but just leave it to where I can also grab it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so now I just soda gun, water pitcher. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
Hand
goodbye.
it off. But like one of the first groups of people that I dealt with today, they paid me in cash. It was like an 81 and change tab. They gave me like $85 or
So-
whatever the amount. So like I'm like yo, $4 on fuck what the fuck? And I like turned around with a what the fuck face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then they're like, here, buddy, that's for you too. And it was like another 20. And I'm like, see, like, just be nice, bro. Like, it's such a difficult thing to master.
Yeah.
And this is the guy, I'll fully admit it, like the manager that would say, hey, Ryan, you got to smile more. You got to smile more. I'd be like, what the fuck? That would drive me up a wall. That was the last skill that I developed, the last skill that I, like, said, you know what? You're right about this.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm telling you, like, it's tough to stay on top of that pleasant mountain.
Oh yeah.
But if you can do it, it's
Worth it.
It's not just the people that you're expecting, like, okay, I gave them a water, they should give me money. You're not going to get the reward from that. You're going to get the reward from the 12 people that you were entertaining saying, look at this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's a fucking good person. You know what I mean? He greeted me with a smile. Everybody else is miserable. It's early. Blah, blah, blah. It's so easy to be a douchebag.
Yeah.
But it's like, especially in this situation, like just a simple act of kindness, I feel like has to be boosting my money by,
Yeah.
I'll say it even 10%. And that's
Yeah.
a lot. Like
Yeah,
1/10, like,
It's an extra $50 a
I'm
shift.
saying it's
Yeah.
fucking difficult.
Yeah.
Like,
I got crushed last night. I don't know why. I was busy. Like, I think it was just the day after Mother's Day. All the people that didn't want to go out Sunday went out Monday.
yeah.
So I got fucking buried. It was bad. And this lady on the corner, you know, she thinks that she's getting a guided tour through the fucking menu or whatever, while I'm like, the entire bar is full. I have like, you know, 4 people waiting for seats. The drink printer is going off because the entire restaurant's filled up like a fucking Friday night.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking dying here. And she's just like, what's your favorite thing on the menu? And I literally just had to pretend like I didn't hear her, and I just walked away. Like, I was
That's
just
a
like,
good move.
I'm not doing this. Like, but that's yeah, it's fucking hard to just kind of, you can't always be upbeat and happy, but you have to try your hardest to, like, you know, to meet the masses in the middle as much as you can. You know? I mean, in that instance, there was just nothing. I wasn't going to sit here and be like, I'm not telling you my 3 favorite sushi rolls and then running down all of the apps I like and all this shit. It's like, I'm not here for that right now, lady. Like, I have to sacrifice you for the good of the community. You know, you're 67 years old. However you figured out what to fucking eat in the past 66 years, you're just going to have to employ that method right now.
Yeah.
Like, you're on your own, lady, you know?
And then even that, like, you start kind of like cherry picking like who you have time to actually be nice to,
Yeah.
and you're like, you tip like it's the fucking Great Depression.
Yeah.
So
Even if
I
they
do not have time for you.
Even if they tip well, or at the end you count it up and you're like, oh, maybe I should have talked to them a little more. It's still just worth it, just to be like, I am going to, maybe I'll piss you off. That's fine. But the other 17 people that I'm working with here, if I walk up to you and the only thing you need is one simple thing that's easy and me to ring in one thing that's quick, I'm going to get to you. But if every time I fucking come to you, it's like one more fucking thing that takes me like 3 minutes to accomplish, it's like, I can't do this, lady. Like, at this point in time, I'm not checking back in with you for 12 minutes because that's just, you're on your own now. You know?
I'm circling back to you last.
Exactly. I can't fucking do this with
It's
you.
also like you gave me, like, this is another cool thing to talk about. It's like you gave me the indication early on that you were going to be an issue.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to put out all of my other fires
Before I come to you.
before I come back
Yep.
to you. Yeah. And unfortunately, like, if you burn yourself out on that fire, sorry, but
I mean, she was a nice enough lady. I physically didn't have time for that.
Yeah,
and
but just
I
know-
don't have time for you to not recognize that I don't have time for that. You
that's
know?
what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Like, know your environment.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like,
you know, Rome is burning right now, man.
Yeah.
Look around you. It's Armageddon. Like, fucking let me cook here.
yeah,
you
like
know?
this lady came up to me when I was like, I'm not going to say I was busy, but I had like 12, I had all my seats full. Like, she didn't even have a seat to sit in. And she
Yeah.
comes up to me, she's like, do you have non-alcoholic frozen pina coladas? I was like, what? And the best
So
thing-
many questions about that. I hate.
I was like on my nice kick, yeah, and I was like, we don't have any frozen drinks, miss. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
And then she just like walked away, and I was like, even then, like going back to like the wait on whatever I was doing, I was like, you should have given me $1 just for asking me that stupid question, you fucking bitch. Like, but I said, yeah, I thought it with a smile on my face. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's almost like like I might have talked about these ladies. They beat the door down every shift I work. Maybe it's Saturday or Monday, or maybe they just know I work and I'm easily bullied by them or whatever. But
Yeah.
they're like, we're gonna have 1 beer apiece, and we're gonna split an order of nachos, and we're gonna take a big table, and we're gonna come in before you guys officially open.
Yeah.
It's like, wouldn't you think that that's like at least a $15, $20 tip
Yeah. Should
to be like rolling around like that? This is a $6 tip.
Yeah.
So now, like you, when you're like, I just acted like I didn't hear, I don't see you out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're trying to come in early? I don't see you. The
Yeah.
phone's ringing. Sorry, we don't pick up until 11:01.
Yeah.
You know, like
I don't pick up the phone at all.
$6. Yeah, well, the joint that I work, you're the only person there. So
I
you're,
still wouldn't pick it up. I don't
if
answer
the phone
phones.
rings before we open, I yell. And I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like a maniac.
Yeah.
That place has a bell that the cooks like
Oh, okay.
ring to like let you know your stuff's ready.
Yeah.
And I came in the other day and the cook was listening to Limp Bizkit, and it was break stuff, and it was like right in the fucking, I forget. I think he said, "Give me something to break," or whatever it was. Or it's like, you know, I pack a chainsaw. What? A chainsaw? What? A motherfucking chainsaw? And like right when that came on, I fucking pounded the bell, bro. It was the best thing ever. Like total white boy moment. And like the 3 Spanish guys that were like prepping and stuff, they're just looking at us like, why are you doing that?
Okay.
Yeah. No, they speak such good English that I'll like say something funny and the one guy laughs and I'm like,
You got me.
bro. You fucking you speak English like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But this dude is also the one that he's a clone physically of the child molester that I used to work with.
Oh, really?
Maybe he's not a molester, the child lurer.
I mean, if you're luring,
This guy's trying to have sex with 13-year-old boys in Walmart.
I mean, if you're luring kids, it's
Yeah.
it's slippery slope.
Dude, I don't know where I saw this, but it was like somebody, or maybe it was like confessions of like hospice employees, people who work hospice or whatever.
Yeah.
And this lady was
Why
telling
do
me,
I feel like it's about to get dark?
it is. Well, again, it's not dark. It's like it's a success story. But this
Oh, okay.
this lady, she's taking care of this old man. He's dying. You know what I mean? And he goes, listen, I'm gonna die like tomorrow. I know. You know what I mean? But I've never told anybody this, and I just got to get it off my chest. And he's like, I've been attracted to little children my entire life, and I never acted on it. And he's like, I'm dying very proud of the fact that I was able to control that.
Yeah, I mean, good
Like,
for
what
him.
do you say to that? Like, you
Yeah.
say, like, bro, great job, or you're just like,
Yikes!
yeah, like
I forget what-
because but he did do a commendable deed.
I mean, by
He
not
coulda
molesting
done it.
kids, he could have.
He could have done it.
There was a
It's pretty easy. They're fucking dumb.
there's a comedian. Maybe it was a Louis C.K. bit, maybe Mark Normand or something. But there's a comedian who talks about like, at what point in time we were all attracted to 12-year-old girls. So it's kind of like, you lucked out that you aged out of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you like grew up with it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You
Well, it probably happens. It's like you see like your first Playboy, and you're like, fuck these little 12-year-olds.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
speaking of
not
which,
done cooking yet.
yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, actually, I think it was Friday or Saturday. Some girl sat at the bar, huge tits, and I'm not even usually the kind of guy to be like, "Look at the fucking tits on seat 5." And even I was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And she was like, she was wearing like basically what amounted to like maybe a half a step up from a bra. Like it literally looked like she was just like wearing a lace bra at the bar with huge fucking tits. It was like crazy to the point where I was like texting people being like, dude, you gotta fucking take a lap. Fucking you gotta come see this shit. It was nuts. I mean, I came pretty close to just being like, dude, flop those out and just show us. Like, what is going on under there? Like, I wonder how she would have taken that. Probably not well.
I don't think you would have taken it well, bro. It probably looks horrible, dog.
No, well, yeah. So she was a little bit of a not like a big girl, but she was like big-ish. Maybe like like a little plump. She wasn't like fat or anything, but it was just one of those things where I was like, I bet you those things are fucking wild. She just seemed flopping out and shit.
Yeah.
All I could do, it ruined the rest of my night for me. All I could do was think about that the whole rest of the night. Huge pair of fucking tits. Like I said, I'm not even usually, you know me, I'm not like the kind of guy to usually say shit like that. And even I was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, it had to be
Yeah.
I've never heard you say that ever.
Yeah, it was wild. It was so much so I told Diane. Like Diane next to me, I was like, "Are you fucking seeing this?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Dude." I almost was like, "You ask her to fucking tell her to take one of them out."
Yeah.
Just to fucking. I gotta see those fucking nipples.
Ask her if
They
you
must
can,
have been like salamis.
ask
you know?
her if you can bounce a quarter into those things.
Yeah, no shit. Oh man.
A,
Yeah.
a salami. I feel like it's like one of those ones that's like way harder to pronounce. Like
Yeah,
it was a super
capicola or
super sade or some
gabagool.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we get like girls like who are, we get a lot of strippers.
I remember how they
prostitutes,
dressed. Yeah.
But this girl wasn't even like one of those girls either, which was the weirdest thing. Like she was just a average white girl who just was like, I have huge fucking tits and everybody's gonna know it. Like that's all she was there for,
Do you know what?
Not
chick-
even like in a whorish way either. Just like I'm just a girl, like a girl next door, huge tits. Come take a look at them.
I feel like I have like an image of a person who you might be thinking about, but
Yeah.
they can't. It can't be because it's just like a normal big boob job. It's not like this like.
No, these weren't even. This wasn't a boob job. These were natural.
Yeah.
And like I've seen the difference. Like these were natural, huge tits, huge.
Yeah, this one chick, she always used to she'd come into the bar by herself, which I like appreciated.
Yeah.
Like she's taking herself out for a nice dinner. She always treated herself. And then she'd always go back and forth between dessert. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm going to get dessert.
Yeah.
Or like, no, I'm being good and I'm going to the gym and this is like my one good cheat meal. You know what I mean? And so like, eventually I feel like through like, me doing the delivery service and shit like that, it's like now we follow each other on social media,
Yeah.
And all I see her now, she's taking these pictures with these fucking rocket ships. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, so you quit going to the gym and you just got
Now
fake
you just got
tits,
huge tits.
and
Yeah.
now you just post about that on social media all the time.
And she's
All right.
probably getting paid a lot to do it.
I actually think I probably got rid of her because I can't think of like the last time. But it's always like,
She made it into your algorithm. That's because now it thinks you're in defeat. So
no, dude, I found a thing. I got so sick of this shit, dude. I went into like the settings,
yeah,
and there was like a way to purge it.
yeah.
So I
It's
did
like
it.
factory reset.
No, it's
Yeah.
not like a fact. It just says like, you know, are you sure? Like it asks you like twice. Like, are
Yeah.
you sure you want to do this? I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah.
Take all these whores and their gross feet off of my fucking every 20 pictures. And
So you reset it, and you're like, "Don't worry, it'll be racist and homophobic in no time."
yeah, that's the thing that I'm missing out on. It's
Yeah.
like all like
All the
the,
good racist stuff.
that and like I guess if you want to call like throw my nerd bit of personality into it, like I
Yeah.
like watching stuff about like retro toys on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like guys that go like to like flea markets and find like a fucking
Yeah,
GI
find
Joe they
the
have no
first
business
edition
finding.
Snake Eyes or something.
Yeah. And so yeah, I used that, you know, I'd see like a lot of that in my shit, and now that's all gone too. And I'm like, oh, bummer.
Yeah. Well, you gotta build it again.
And now it's
you
just
know?
like all sports.
Yeah.
It's all like stupid. It's all stupid like Skip Bayless and shit. Like he's like deplatformed. He's like talking on his own shit now.
Who
With
wants
this
to
lady.
who wants to listen to that fucking guy?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Him and Lil Wayne
Yeah. Does him and Lil Wayne have a show?
every now and then. Yeah,
Jesus. What the fuck is that dynamic?
I don't know. I don't like Lil Wayne.
Neither do I. He reminds me of the main bad gremlin
Yes.
from Gremlins. Yeah.
He also, the one thing I will give Lil Wayne a shout out about, that like his like deposition or whatever got leaked, and he is like the best asshole to the cops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they're like interviewing him, and like they just say like, wouldn't you think? And he's like, wouldn't I think? And he's just like, he's just the most difficult.
Yeah.
He shuts down every question. And like me as somebody who loves like fucking with law enforcement, I'm like, yo, this dude,
Yeah.
he does. This is what knowing you have bail money looks exactly like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every question was met with difficulty, fuck you, and an attitude.
Yeah.
And I was like, it has to. And like I struggle with this at work too. Like I got problems with coworkers, and it's just it's hard to be mean. It's
Yeah.
just like another layer of things that I have to do. You know?
Yeah.
Where like I can just treat you like a customer and just be like that fake nice to you and whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a lot easier than being like, oh, this fucker's coming in. Now I got to be an asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like doing that.
Yeah. It's
Just
more effort just to do that. Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
Just much like I'm over you know what I mean? It's like the same thing where I was coming from.
Yeah.
Fucking over it. It's taking
Yeah.
too much effort.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, it's like if you're harboring that much hate for somebody you work with, it is like exhausting. It's like, dude, fuck this person. Don't even give them the time of day. I can't tell you how many people I've worked with that like I've said maybe like 8 words to my entire, because like the first day I met them, they like pissed me off and annoyed me, and I was like, well, I'm just never talking to you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of like they like hired now we're dealing with like the influx of like all the trainees now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're like dealing with seeing all these new people and stuff, and it's just like, holy Christ.
Yeah,
Like
that sounds fun.
I don't know where I was going with that. I lost it.
Yeah, that's
I had
all right.
I had a good one. Do you have any take on
I've takes like galore.
yeah. I don't know. It's like everything on my little list here I feel like we talked about.
Well,
I got so fired up about ancient architectural history last time.
yeah, I'm not gonna fall into that trap again. So I'm just gonna admit that aliens built Yankee Stadium.
What
That'll be it.
about you know what the geezers paradox is?
I feel like maybe what is it?
Like you're only cool if you don't care if you're cool.
Yeah,
And like essentially like old people or geezers,
yeah,
it's like they don't care if they're cool anymore.
right.
So they're like the
Cool.
coolest.
Yeah,
But when I look at them and you got your silly Nike Air Monarchs or like white New Balances on, you're rolling around thinking that like the 80s were like the pinnacle of mankind.
yeah.
I don't think that you're that cool,
Fair enough.
you know?
Yeah.
Like did you have a an out to dinner experience for Mother's Day?
No, I would not in a fucking million years would I go out to dinner for Mother's Day. It's like literally
you don't
hell on
have-
earth.
Your household's different though, right? Because you are the oldest generation. No, your mom's still around, right?
Oh yeah, no, my mom's around. Yeah, she lives in Connecticut though.
So you're
I
not
don't
taking any.
particularly-
You're not taking any special trips to go see
No.
mom for see grandma for Mother's
No.
Day.
My mother has never called me on Father's Day. Never, not once. Not like the 12 years that I've been a dad. Wouldn't you think that you would call your son on Father's Day and be like, "Oh, happy Father's Day"? So that's the level of like,
Yeah.
no,
Or like call him on, or at least give you like a shout out on Mother's Day, being like, "Thanks for making me a grandmother."
just anything.
Yeah.
No, she's not about that life.
She's like, "You leave me alone with my equestrian man. I've got
Pretty
things
much.
to do."
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. They live their own life over there. I'm okay with that.
Well, I went out to eat for a Mother's Day experience with my nana
Yeah,
and my mom and my brother, and I thought this was going to be a family affair. And so I figured my uncle and his son would have been there. Like that's
Yeah.
the rest of our kind of immediate unit, And so I don't know. I didn't take part in the reservations, and I knew that that my family was going back and forth about, it's basically a civil war between the vegans and the non-vegans. My mom and my brother being the vegans, and everybody else being the nons.
right.
Right. So I sent the thing to the group text just being kind of frustrated with all of this, just being like, yo, like if the restaurant matters that much, then what do we really have like as a family?
Yeah,
Like if we're not going to get together and this is all we're going to do, we're going to go out to eat and the menu is going to dictate whether or not people come or not. What are we doing?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I sent that
Yeah.
out.
How strong is the glue holding us together?
Not very.
Yeah.
So like I sent that out, and like apparently, and the mothers that be my nana and my mom, they came to some compromise apparently to now we're going to Bristol and we're going to a vegan restaurant, all vegan,
yeah,
right? So I'm like, all right, that's cool. So I show up, my uncle's not there, my cousin's not there, and I find out that they went out the previous night with my nana instead.
yeah.
So I'm like, well, where the fuck was my invite?
To go to the non-vegan
fucking
day.
prime rib night or
Yeah.
some shit. You know what I mean? And it's like my lady was out of town.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not, you know what I mean? If my lady's out of town, I'm eating like shit.
Yeah,
Like, that's how I cheat.
Yeah.
I'm getting pizzas. I'm
Yeah.
doing whatever the fuck I want. Like, I definitely would have went and got some fucking porterhouse prime rib, whatever the fuck you got
Yeah.
into,
Oh yeah. Instead
anyway-
you got fucking tofu.
And so I don't know if this is just a vegan issue or if the fact that like my uncle is like an open like red hat MAGA dude, and whereas like my mom, my nana, and my brother are all, I don't know what you want to call them, just liberals. I don't know
Yeah.
if they actually supported Kamala Harris or if they were just anybody but Trump. I don't
Yeah.
know. I can't listen to anybody in my family talk politics or I will actively kill myself.
Yeah,
So I'm like, this is lame that we either excluded my uncle and his cousin because of their political beliefs or
or they fucking bounced on you the night before.
or they said we're going to do a dinner and I didn't even get an invite on it.
yeah,
So, all right, great. Awesome. We're starting out real glued up. So we go to this vegan joint and they have like a like a tasting menu or whatever, a course thing.
yeah.
And I'm like, all right,
Prefix
I'll just do that. So I did that. My mom does that. My brother does that. My Nana's turn to order. She's like, well, I'm not a vegan. And I'm like, Nana, like, has anybody like not explained to you the difference between this? Like, there's just no meat or butter.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, if you really want to say, I don't eat vegan, like, just don't get anything with tofu in it.
right.
Like
Yeah.
everything else
I'm
is
sure
just,
there's some sort of stir fry or something on there or something, or yeah.
There was. So it was like you could have a soup or a salad, and then I got a frittata as like my main, or a frittata with like onions and peppers in it, which I don't know what the hell the eggs were in the frittata.
Yeah.
Speaking of, and then I got some kind of like what's that shit, like cheesy rice with like asparagus risotto.
Yeah.
And I'm missing like a few courses in there. There was like a tiramisu for a dessert. They had that the ice cream where you put the espresso in it, affogato or some shit.
Yeah.
So I had that. Like I ordered 2 desserts, like a fatty, and then I just dumped them all in the same bowl and mixed it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty good, like for like vegan stuff. You know what I mean? But
I feel like that's the caveat that everyone gives, though, where it's like, oh, it's pretty good for vegan. It's like, well, what does that even mean? Like, would you have ever eaten at that place again if you were not a vegan?
here's what I'm trying to cycle back to.
Yeah.
Right? Is like my Nana being ridiculous, being like you're sitting down at a place that is a vegan restaurant. Like it's like you went to the rope store and you asked them for any other murder weapon in Clue besides the rope. You know what I mean? Like it's like
I'll take a wrench.
yes, like or like you went to a running store and you're mad that they don't have skis. You know, like it's like what are we doing here? Like have you not done any market research on this?
Yeah.
And you know, so I had, and being in the hospitality business, I'm like, this server hates us now.
Oh,
This
yeah.
server hates us for the entire rest
The
of
moment
the
the
meal.
moment a table sits down in a vegan restaurant and says, "I'm not vegan," you're
Yeah.
just like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
here?
I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, we're in the corner with the dunce hats on.
Yeah.
And then to circle back to like, would you ever go back there again? How much do you think our bill was for living lavishly for a 4-top to eat at that vegan restaurant?
At a vegan restaurant, living it up, just like no holds barred on anything. You ordered everything. Like, did you get like?
I ordered a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I ordered.
Was anyone drinking?
My mom had 2 drinks and my Nana had a drink. I had an espresso. I probably had enough non-alcoholic beverages to
So-
constitute one or 2 drinks.
All right, so people had a couple drinks. I would say probably for the 4 of you,
1.5 rounds of alcoholic beverages.
maybe like $200, $220.
$350.
Whoa, for vegan food?
Yeah.
What the fuck
Like, I
is their
think we, like,
cost?
I think I split the check with my brother, and like
Yeah.
I left a $50 tip, which is probably $20 more than I should have if
Yeah.
you do the math, and it was like $230.
Yeah. Wow. Damn.
And it's
That's
like I get that you have to do like a bunch of stuff, like the it's all in the prep work.
Not really though. Like you
But, like,
still
if
have
you
to
have-
pay. Like the reason steaks cost a lot is because like steaks cost a lot.
Yeah,
Like
because you had to grow a 400-pound
yeah,
animal.
your
like-
food cost is 50% on a steak. If you fucking sell a steak for $65, chances are it cost you like $29 to get that steak.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, man. That's fucking wild, dude.
yeah,
$300 for fucking green beans? Like
yeah,
the fuck? I don't know. That's nuts.
yeah. So like now I'm like, so now I'm at this point. Now I'm at a crossroads. I feel like with whether or not I'm going to continue. Like I'm going to give them one more chance, right? Because now we're going to have another family gathering, right? And it's like the vegans got their way this time.
Yeah, well, they have to now.
So it's like now are we going to come back to some place that has like a shared menu?
Yeah.
You know, a place where maybe they have a cauliflower pizza, and now you guys are here for the family
Yeah.
rather than the meal, and you're going to order something that you normally wouldn't really care that much to order,
Right.
Or you wouldn't go there specifically for this, but it's something enough to sustain you and get you through the day. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, is that going to happen?
I mean, it
And
should.
I don't know.
You need to choose some place that at least has plant-based options, but they have to go into it realizing that there's going to be 3 plant-based options, and you better be fine with picking one of them.
Yeah.
Like, you can't fucking expect to just go to a fucking vegan restaurant every single time you go out to eat as a family. That's unrealistic.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I get it. I'll compromise every now and then, but if you think this is some new fucking world, you know, like
Yeah.
and like, is this coming from some sort of like I'm better than you, sort of thing? Like, do you think that you're better than us by being?
You think you're better than me?
Yeah, and if that's the case, like if you think that I'm gonna and also I chose to drive myself because I didn't want to sit in a fucking liberal think tank for an hour drive back to Bristol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you know, an hour and a half in the car back and forth. So and not that I really give that much of a fuck about politics, but it's like,
Yeah.
you got me, you're telling me how to think, you're telling me how to eat. You know what I mean? You're telling me how we're gonna drive and all this shit. It was just too much.
No.
So I don't know what the deal is, but I just keep thinking of the look on that server's face when my Nana was like, "I'm not a vegan." She was like, "Well, we're a vegan establishment." I was like, the only thing missing right now is the server wearing a mask on her own voluntary accord. Nobody was masked up though. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty late in the game now at this point. If you're still rocking a mask, then you have like mental illness level of liberalism.
Yeah.
You know, like those aren't exactly those are the fringe at this point.
Yeah, dude, you get anybody wearing them at your spot?
No, not really.
Like, I guess because of the airport and travel, like
Yeah,
the
you got a lot of
real
them
mental
there.
of the world,
Yeah.
like they still have it going on. And like I can't roll my eyes hard enough when you sit down at my bar with your stupid mask on, and then you take it off to order from me.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what? I will say this is if I were going to wear a mask anywhere, it would be on a plane. Because, like, it is just recycled air being just thrown back in your face. Like, you look around that aircraft and you're just like, there are straight fat, fucking disgusting animals that I'm sharing the fucking
Yeah.
same. Like, maybe. I wouldn't do it even then. But maybe I could be convinced of doing it then. But I'll be honest with you, too. It's one of those things where the entire time COVID was going on and we were all wearing masks, it was kind of, even if you were, whatever you think about COVID, who gives a fuck? I didn't get sick nearly as much as I used to. Like during that period of time wearing a mask, it is kind of, it's effective for if you want to stay healthy.
yeah.
But it is fucking ridiculous. Like I wouldn't do it ever to prevent me from dying or catching some horrible airborne illness. But I don't know, man, not getting the common cold for a while was pretty sweet, you know? But a lot of it also had to do with the fact that we weren't going out anywhere or doing anything, you know? So it was just
Yeah.
like, it was just you inside your house with your family, like, damn, I haven't been sick in like 3 months. Like, this is pretty awesome, you know? Oh.
Yeah, I remember when we worked at the Spot, I never wore like a real mask. I just wore like the
Yeah.
disconnected turtleneck that
Yeah.
you would pull up, and I'd always be ripping vape pens, like not even
Through it?
taking the fabric
Yeah.
down, and just watching like all the smoke come up, being like,
What's this doing?
this is doing nothing. Yeah, like nothing at all. And I have trouble, like, I understand like a real COVID mask, like it is effective at some point.
Yeah, like
but,
an N95 mask.
yeah, but it's like, it's not like you're like shaving down to the skin and like putting some type of like,
yeah, it's not
like,
sealing it
it's
in.
still like it's not gonna protect you from like a gas attack. Like
No.
there's still stuff
Yeah.
getting in there, you know?
Like,
Like,
are we worried about mustard attacks at the
no,
fucking
but I'm just saying, like, it's not an
yeah.
airtight barrier,
Yeah,
dude.
no.
Like, if there's molecules in the air, like, it's gonna get in there. You're
Well,
just like,
So I think during the height of COVID or whatever, they did like a study where it was basically like if you're sitting in a room with even with a mask on and sharing the same space, like me and you are right now, like we're breathing in like each other's molecules like in literal minutes or whatever. Like it'd be like 11 minutes, and no matter what mask we have on, we're breathing in each other's molecules.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's more or less just for like kind of, you know, passing by shit. Like you're like if I'm walking by you in a hallway, like I'm probably protected at that
That's
point.
where
But
I
yeah,
could be
if
convinced.
we're sharing a room for a long period of time, yeah, obviously it doesn't do anything, you know?
like, if we were in an airport together and you're like, hey,
Yeah, for
we're
sure.
about to walk by a boarding area that's going back to China. Do you want to put a mask on while we share this hallway
Maybe
with
I'd
these
do
people?
that.
I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at the very least, I'm gonna pull my
Yeah.
my hoodie strings real tight.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So, I mean, yes. I think people who wear masks still are stupid, but at the same time, I can't argue with the logic.
What about, let's talk about another stupid person that comes into the restaurant. Like, they need something, right? And they think that they know their way around a restaurant enough.
Yeah.
Like, maybe for your situation, somebody needs some chopsticks.
Yeah.
And they can see where they are, but they know they have to go into like the server station to get them.
Yeah.
Right. So they go to get them, and then they realize that there's like a server coming. So now they revert to doing like this dumbass, like slow motion.
Like, can I do this?
Yeah. Like, it's just a lot. It's like,
Yeah.
just fucking use your.
You're
stop,
almost there. Yeah.
Stop looking. Yeah. Either just do it or stop acting like such a fucking idiot and like use your words and be like, hey, can I get one of those?
Yeah.
I know I was going to do it anyway.
Right.
But
Yeah. Well, it's the people who like come up to the bar and like I see them like reaching over out of the corner of my eye to grab like a couple straws. It's like, yeah, dude, you don't have to wait for me. Like, just go.
Yeah.
Fine. They're straws. They're there on the bar. Have at it. Go
Yeah.
nuts. You know, take a fucking million of them. I don't give a shit. I don't even like this place. Just saying.
Dude, that's making me laugh. One time I saw my brother drop like a fucking giant box of straws at that joint.
Yeah.
And he goes to like river cleanups for like to be part of the pollution solution.
Oh
you know?
yeah. So you just
And
having an
I'm like,
aneurysm.
yeah, I'm like, bro, that just undid like 4 Fridays that
Yeah.
you, or 4 Saturdays that you like volunteered your time.
Look
on.
at all the turtles you just
all
killed.
of those are going right back in the fucking ocean.
Oh,
Dog.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, your brother is a super liberal, huh?
I don't know. I don't know what he's up to. If you,
Have you not talked to your brother?
nah, bro,
Like ever? Why?
I don't know.
Is there like a rift? What's he doing?
There could be a rift, or it could just be that like, Well, I don't know. It's on him, man, because I've sent like funny group messages
Yeah.
to like him, my uncle, my cousin, like shit that we would all laugh about in the past. And it's like I've gotten like an LOL here and there from the mics, if you want to call him that,
Yeah.
you know? And I don't think he's ever said shit back. So maybe he's mad at me. Maybe he doesn't fucking like the person that I am. But
That's a bummer. Is he doesn't work anywhere anymore, right? Like
he's at XO.
Oh, he is still?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. And what, he's still doing like the teaching gig thing? The teacher's aide thing?
What is that called? A department multimedia assistant or something like
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's something about Brown. Like Brown might be buying like the Johnson and Wales campus if they end up shutting that
Really?
thing down. Yeah, he was saying that rumor's going around.
Oh shit.
But yeah, he was saying this is like another like hospitality centric thing. I feel like we can touch on. My brother was showing me, and kind of venting to me that he submitted like a drink list for them to review. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, for seasonal menu or something. And he's like, it's crickets. They never got back to me. Da 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 da. You know what I mean? And like two things could be going on here. It's like you got introduced to these guys as like my kid brother,
Yeah.
and we couldn't be more different when it comes to like personality
Yeah,
types.
you diametrically opposite.
Like my brother rolls on like you're on my time, like I'm making like he's never going to like get himself flustered or like start sweating, moving quick. Like he's doing things at his pace at what he knows how to get him done. Like I don't know. He doesn't believe in shifting into like a second gear.
Right.
But he also is the first one to complain about guys not going into the corner in hockey.
Right.
So it's like you grasp the concept of like digging the puck
grinding it
out
out
in the corners,
Yeah.
but like you don't want to do it at work like a madman. I don't know. He just doesn't function well in chaos, maybe, or whatever it is, So basically, it's like you're never going to fill my shoes. You know what I mean? So like if you get introduced to somebody who's like the owner of something, you're not part of the opening staff or some shit. It's just like, hey, Ryan's got a brother. We're going to give him a job. And it's like, I'm not going to sit here and like trash my breed. Like, oh, you don't want to give this guy a job. He doesn't move that fat. You're like, you know what I mean? It's like he's still effective in what he does.
Right.
But it's like, he's not me.
Right.
So it's like, do you ever overcome that?
I mean,
Like, I think it's a tough thing to swallow. And if you're not going to overcome that, right? Like if you're not going to be the G, if you're not going to be the reason why the gears spin in this place, if you're not going to be putting fires out before they start, if you're not going to be leading by example, if you're not going to be training the new people, if you're not going to have all of your I's and T's crossed,
then how much latitude are they going to give them? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the point that I'm trying to make. Like you can have all the creativity, drink-wise, mixology-wise in the world, but if you haven't mastered the ability to like run the place on your own, be able to dictate like who's doing what during times of stress, make sure everybody's, you know what I mean? Like if you haven't mastered all of the other things that come along with having your name on the menu, you're never going to get to the point of having your name on the menu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I don't think you ever master those things per se, but you have to show a willingness to like to improve every day at those things.
Yes.
Because those to me are like the actual things that being a bartender is.
Yes.
Any fucking idiot can like read a fucking, Wikipedia page and research a couple obscure boozes and make a cocktail. Like any fucking idiot can do that. But it's the person who like, how are you going to make it so you can make that drink in under 18 seconds?
Yes.
And make
time
a bar
in, time out.
Yeah, exactly. Make a bar perform
and
and fucking like sing and operate in a fucking timely manner.
Yeah.
Like that to me that's bartending. Bartending isn't fucking sitting there with a saline dropper and stirring things and making a fucking 18.5-minute cocktail and then turning around and realizing you have to repeat that 6 more times. Like
yes.
That's I don't know what that is, but that's not
like
bartending.
sitting down at the end of the night and being like, I got smoked on like these 3 things really set me back tonight. How can I fix this?
Yeah.
And how can I implement this? And how can I get my work friends or my coworkers, whatever, how can I get them on board? Like, you know what I mean? It's like there's so many things behind it. And like you said, like any idiot can make drinks, or come up with the concepts of drinks, but can you come up with the concepts of the form and function to get those drinks out the door?
Yeah.
And I feel for him because he put a lot of effort into like writing all those drinks and stuff like that. But it's like, yo, bro, like,
but that's just misplaced effort.
You got to be the man first, like
you have to be placing that same effort into the other things that aren't as glamorous, Like, it is one of those things where I tell people all the time, anybody who's like, oh, whatever, Brendan, you're the fastest, bartender here, fucking, you're the best in service and whatever, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, I'm not a fucking genius. I'm not manipulating time. I'm not figuring out how the fuck to do this, like, in nanoseconds. All it is preparation. Like, all you have to do is just look around, and once you have to make a mistake before you can fucking figure out a way to solve that mistake,
Yeah.
At some point in time, you're going to be in the middle of service and you're going to run out of something. You're going to be like, fuck, if I had just done this 2.5 hours earlier, I wouldn't be in this situation now. So you just have to do all of those things enough where you can get to, a point where every day when I set up the bar, it's perfection. Absolute perfection. I have absolutely everything I could possibly need at the drop of a hat. And then you have to be able to maintain that perfection all the way until 7:15. Because at 7:15, if you work at a fucking profitable bar, chances are at that point in time, things are going to start declining.
Yes.
Right? But you have to make it so that way perfection goes down to like manageable.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you just start it manageable, at 7:45, your bar's fucking shit, and you're fucked, and you're missing everything, and you're out of this, and your fucking trashes are full, and your butts buckets are full, and you have nothing to make fucking drinks in, and you like. At that point in time, it's like you're just fucked, and I don't give a fuck. If you drop me in there at 7:45, me like as with all of my skill set in that situation, I'm gonna fucking crater too.
It's still gonna take you like an hour to fucking dig yourself out of the
claw your
hole,
way
like.
out of that, right? So it's just like, yeah, you have to be able to do all of those things beforehand in order to make it so your shift like is absolutely as good as it could possibly be. And even then, you still fucking like I said last night, I got fucking crushed, and I was able to like kind of keep the tracks, the wheels on the tracks. But like at a certain point, even then, I was like, fuck, I'm out of this, I'm out of that, I'm out of this. But it's just, you can't plan for 100 fucking people on a Monday night in a full bar,
Yeah.
But I came pretty goddamn close to doing it, So I mean, if that's worst case scenario, that's pretty fucking good. If other bartenders I work with, though, like they would have quit. Like I honestly believe that.
Yeah.
Like they would have just walked out. They would have been like, I guess I don't work here anymore. Like. If you go into it just being like, oh well, I'm going to do is go to here, and oh well, if something happens, it's like you have to be willing to start up here.
Yeah.
Like you have to look around and be like, I can't even stock another fucking straw behind this place.
That's how I was when I worked there, bro. Like I would be fucking on missions until I could not leave that service well anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what it took. Like that's what it takes.
Well, and also not for nothing, but that spot is kind of like, it's a very hard bar to work because it's probably 4 seats too big for somebody who really realistically should be handling that bar solo. And it probably has maybe like 20 too many seats in the restaurant for somebody who should be handling the service bar solo. And then on top of that, they have like an elevated drink cocktail list. It's not like fucking I'm stirring saline and fucking doing like all that shit, but it has to kind of approach that level while also making it so I can like assembly line style make all of these drinks for people. So it kind of does blend it. If it were a fucking Ruby Tuesdays where all I was making was Caribbean rum runners and fucking whatever, I could bang that out. I could bang out a fucking restaurant of that size, no problem.
Yeah.
But the fact that I do have a couple drinks on the menu that it's like, all right, fuck, I got to make that. But even then, it's once again, it's figuring out, all right, well, I have this one drink on the menu. And we have so many fucking things back here that, all right, if I just put this bottle here, this squeeze bottle here, and then put the bottle I need in the fridge behind me, I can fucking do one swoop and I make that whole drink fucking 9 seconds flat.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't do something like that, it's like that drink could take you
took
fucking 45 seconds.
You took like 30 steps to make it. Yeah,
exactly.
Because the Aperol is like where it should be.
Exactly.
You're like, nah, not today.
But those are the things that are important. It's not fucking, like I said, any dickhead who has a fucking, internet access can look up punchdrink.com and steal one of their fucking cocktails and throw it on their menu. It's a matter of execution, like you have to be able to make that fucking drink a fucking 100 times in that night and still keep everyone happy.
Yeah.
That's the key,
Yeah, I heard something. I mean, there's two like little quotes that this conversation makes me relate to. And one of them is chance favors the prepared mind.
Yep.
I heard that years ago and I was like, I like that shit. And then I fucking lost the other one now.
There's always one that's like the 6 Ps that people always tell me about, and I always forget what it is. It's something like preparation, fucking, I don't know. I can't remember it.
1P.
Yeah, I got one of the 6. It's something like preparation fucking stops past mistakes from fucking puckering assholes. I don't know. the fuck it was.
Well, I got the other one that I did. It's like,
What's up?
It's like, dude, how'd you get so good at this? It's like, bro, like I've failed more times than you've attempted.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
well, that's
like-
just it. Well, I
Like I've just gotten better every time, and it's
Yeah.
like I've done all of these drinks a million times at this point. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like,
yeah, I fundamentally believe that every bartender sucks until they don't suck one day.
Yeah.
And I don't know at what point in time that switch comes on. And so for some people it never does. But like you have to know that you suck. It's the Socrates thing where it's like, the person who's the biggest fool is the person who thinks that they know it all.
Yeah.
You know? It's like
yeah,
I go into it just being like there's something I can be doing better every single time I go into work. You know?
do you think Socrates was? Socrates was like he like lost some debate and like basically he was like
Killed himself?
Well, they were like, nah, like you don't have to die. Like he got like sentenced to death or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because of this. And then they were like, they tried to be like, you don't. And he was like, no, like this is how it has to be.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I'm tired. I figured out this is just a simulation, and just kill me.
You know what, though? I would imagine back in those days, it was a lot easier to take death, you know? Like now, being alive, for the most part, like as much as we complain about it, it's pretty rad. You know,
No,
we
it's not. You're a fucking slave to just going to work and paying bills every day. Back
Dude.
then, it's like, bro, you want to go outside and you want to play with your friends all day, every day.
well, that's not how it was. First of all, most people died at like 31 because
Oh,
of
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
common sickness, you know? And you were
You die from diarrhea.
Yeah, exactly, you know? It's like, yeah, life was a fucking misery in ancient times. You know,
You imagine
you could starve to death all the time, you know?
Like, who's the Greek dudes that like found out about like what's going on inside of us?
What do you mean?
Like at some point, there's just like some Greek dudes like cutting dead bodies
Oh,
open
yeah.
and being like, "What do you think this does?" And like you go over there,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you skip out on making Davids out of marble and you go see what's going on in this guy's house, and you're like, "Holy fuck, bro!"
Well,
You
this is
guys
a
are
fucking nightmare.
Yeah, you guys. I don't think I have PTSD for the next 5 incarnations of myself from
Yeah.
seeing what you guys are up to over here.
So yeah, I mean, if somebody was like, "Hey, are you tired of being sick and fucking hungry all the time? Like, you could just die." I'm like, "All right, maybe that's not so bad."
What about do you hear about Grey Goose's origin story?
I don't. It's a French company. That's all
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
They just said make the bottle bigger than the rest of it, make it cost more than 20%, and we're gonna get something from France instead.
What do you mean?
Grey Goose. Like it's totally like it's not like this like the French have been making this exquisite vodka for you know what I mean? And
for
we're bringing this to the
generations.
masses. No, it was literally like a marketing like they were like this will like it was like a bet almost. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like make it cost more, make it exclusive, make it from some other fucking place.
Yeah.
Make the bottle bigger.
Yeah,
and,
we'll just
and,
sell
and
it.
it will sell.
Yeah. They're not wrong.
And they're just like, we'll trick these stupid Americans into buying anything.
You know what? It's a great name too. Like that goes a long ways. You know, Casamigos sells because it rolls off the tongue. You
Yeah.
know?
People have been hating on Casamigos lately.
Actually, people have been hating on all the Don Julio, all the fuck is the liquor distributor, like Diageo, I think it is. But they own like Don Julio, they own Casamigos. They're getting sued
For what?
for fucking because on the bottle it says 100% agave and it ain't. You know, they're putting like all these sorts of like
Yeah, somebody's saying
corn
there's
syrup
like
additives and
sugar
shit.
in it. Yeah.
So they're getting the shit suit out of them, which is wild anyway. Like I feel like everyone in the bar business has known that all that shit has additives in it for a long time, right?
Yeah, it's like
Well, it's just like the balls of them to like still put 100% agave on that bottle. It's like you had to know that eventually somebody was going to like take this and test it and be like, this ain't 100% agave. You know?
like the fucking like the fat-free frozen yogurt in Seinfeld.
Yeah, well, there are people who just do that. Like my wife works compliance for a furniture company, and there's absolutely people who their only job, they're like lawyers, and all they do is they just buy furniture off of the internet and then put it through like the tip tests and all that shit. And whenever they fail, they fucking file a lawsuit being like, this thing does not meet the standards of like, fucking prop, whatever it is, 60
Yeah.
something or whatever.
This is supposed to burn for 4 minutes before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what people do. So I'm surprised that like in this day and age, how fucking dumb are you that you're putting 100% agave like on a bottle that you like everybody in the business knows that shit was not fucking 100% agave. You know?
Yeah, I mean, do you remember like a thing this had to be like 10 years ago now or something, but it was like somebody was saying that they found antifreeze in Fireball.
Oh, probably formaldehyde. I think it was.
All right, maybe
Yeah.
it's that. But at the same time, it's like, dude, there's no fucking ingredients label on a bottle of booze.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like that for a reason. Like the lobbyists keep it that way. You don't know what the hell this shit is.
I mean, to be fair, if you're drinking Yukon Jack, you deserve everything you're about to get.
But it's
You
just,
know?
I think it's bigger than that. It's like this really is like a legal drug that has like long lasting, devastated consequences
Yeah.
to somebody who drinks their entire life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe speaking of, I met another freelance, maybe not freelance, but he's an 82-year-old man,
Okay.
very proud that his son's in the Hells Angels,
Yeah.
drank 4 Miller Lights, was outside smoking cigarettes, drove himself home after this encounter, talked like a guy that's fucking been smoking cigarettes and drinking Miller Lite for 82 years.
Yeah.
And we're talking music. I play like classic rock at this joint, right? And everybody's always like, "Right, you got the best playlist." Da, da, da. So we're talking music, and somebody brings up, I don't know, it was like Stevie Nicks that was on. So they
Yeah.
start talking about all these girl artists, right?
Yeah.
And so somehow somebody brings up Beyonce. And this guy in his fucking grumpy fucking 82, he goes, "I really don't give a fuck about any of those black motherfuckers." I go,
Yikes.
"Holy shit, dude."
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, those fucking," and then he said it. Like,
Oh man.
and he was like sitting next to like these two dudes. They were kind of suspect, like 50-year-old, I don't know. And as soon as he says it, like the more fruity of the two dudes is like, puts his hand in his head. It was only really like, it was him, me, those two guys, and maybe like 2 other guys that were in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. And so it's another situation like, do I throw this old man out of here? And also, I didn't know his son was in the Hells Angels at this point either. So I'm gonna be like, "Hey, buddy, get out of here with your lane." Now some biker dude's gonna come and beat the
Fucking
fuck
come
out
back
of me.
with a fucking chain, just beat the shit out of you.
So he leaves, right? And now it's just me. Oh, before he leaves, too, the other guys, the suspect guys leave, right? And he goes, "You know those guys?" I go, "No, I never waited on them before." He goes, "You know what I think about them?" And he goes, "I think they're gay." I was like, this fucking guy.
I like how he does
like,
the hand movement,
dude,
and it has to be like, "Do you know what I'm saying?"
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do that before.
Yeah.
Like the fucking thumb dick motion. I
Yeah.
was like, yo, this guy is like a Smithsonian human. Somebody make a wax sculpture out of this man and download his personality.
It's like they
onto a
opened up the
Tesla
time
robot.
capsule earlier that day. It's like, Jesus Christ.
So
man.
then he leaves, right? And now it's just me and just this one other guy that was in there for this. And I was like, yo, that was fucking crazy, right? He goes, "Bro, did you hear him say Mulian as well?" I go, "No." He goes, "He said it all."
Oh, man.
He said everything you should not say out loud in a restaurant. And
was he trying? Does he have like a bingo card in front of him or something?
I don't know what he was up to.
Christ.
But it was just amazing that it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And I wrote on this thing the 82-year-old legend.
Yeah.
I guess it's not so legendary. He's a piece of shit, but
I have a story that's probably going to get me canceled. But the other night, same night as Big Tits Lady.
episode 45, Big Tits Lady.
Yeah. This fucking guy, he sits down and he's with like his girl or something. I'd waited on him in the past. They're cool. Well, whatever. They're good people, I guess. And then next to them was like, they sat down. They had like a little bit of an accent. I couldn't quite place it. But they seemed nice enough. They, maybe a little eccentric, a little quirky, but they the two of them though, the two couples get to like talking to each other or whatever, and I'm kind of busy at that point, so I don't really have time to really listen to what they're talking about. But the older couple with the accents or whatever, they pay their tab and they leave, right? So I have their book in my hand. They pay cash, right? So I have the book in my hand. They had just gotten up. I cleared off all their shit, and the guy's just like, "Do you know those people?" And I'm like, "No, I've never seen those people before in my life." He's like, "What? Do you know where they're from or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't really pick up the accent. Maybe they're like Middle Eastern or something like that, or like they seemed kind of like maybe like that weird like Eastern Mediterranean area, maybe like Turkish or something." And I'm opening the book as I'm saying that, right? And I start counting the money, and he's just like, "Do you know what they were?" And I'm counting the money, and I'm just like, "They were Jews, weren't they?" And he was like, "Oh shit!" It's like, yeah. Fucking 8 on 120. I was like, go fuck yourselves.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they were Israeli Jews. It was just funny though. Like the exact moment that I finished counting, I was like, I know what they were.
I know.
Yeah,
I figured it out.
Uh,
That's what I think the dude that has like the most legendary N bomb of all time, like the guy, like he came into our spot and I was like, hey man, how you doing today? He's like, well, I didn't wake up a fucking
yeah,
and I was just like, and I just was like,
that's unnecessary.
yeah, but like, aren't you from the persecuted people? Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to be outwardly racist like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess teach their own.
I guess. Do you ever do fucking this, like making fun of people back in the day?
Oh, well, like the
Like the retard hand?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. In my younger days, yeah.
But like, I don't see people doing that anymore. Like, what happened to that form of being retarded?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because I like do that when people are like driving stupid and I fucking come by them on the other side. I'll fucking go like that to them. And I think
They
I
probably don't even know what it is
I don't think
anymore.
they know. Yeah. I don't think they.
It's a
fucking
lost
get
art
it.
form. You know what? I will say, like the R word was one of my favorite words ever. But now my wife's sister is Downs, and I can't say it anymore. It's a good word though. Yeah, it encapsulates so many different things.
You're not saying it because you're a wife's sister.
Yeah, well, you know, I've seen, you know, she doesn't like it, so I said I would stop using the word.
Yeah.
So these are the changes you make for the woman you love. You know,
Yeah.
I used it all the time.
I'm kind
though.
of being. I still use it, and I have a blood brother that is retarded.
Hey, that's your
You know,
right.
I say
That's your
retard
right.
all
That's
the
why
time.
I'm not shaming you for it. I've made a promise that I wouldn't use
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to check that. I feel like I do be saying retarded when I'm at like my dad's house,
Yeah.
and not once have they ever been like rye.
Yeah. And that's your
Can
right.
you fuck?
You know?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I never really thought about it being an issue.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's just it's my wife's thing. She doesn't like it. So I don't,
Imagine if they yelled at me about it. I'd be like, "You fucking made him." That's a fucking brutal comeback.
You did this.
But this is you guys did this. What the fuck? What about you see fucking some crazy person drove their car through Jennifer Aniston's gate
No. When was this?
recently?
Jesus. The like a stalker situation?
Yeah.
Or- yeah.
But, like, what has she fucking done since like Friends? Like, you're still sitting there watching Friends on Netflix, like with her fucking nipples poking out at you, and you just can't.
yeah.
I guess she was in that Meet the Millers movie. That's like
Yeah,
a
that was a good
recent thing
movie.
that she's done. That was
That's
funny.
not even written. Dude, I'm going to shock you with how old that movie is. I bet you that movie is at least 13 years old. I bet you that movie is over a decade.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
Dude, Old School is like 20-something years old.
Oh, yeah.
Frank the Tank,
Yeah.
the Red Dragon,
Yeah, I mean, Will Ferrell looks like legit old
took the
now.
restrictor plate off.
God damn it, you forgot your birthday, Frank. Oh, shit.
What about at the end of the movie when he meets the crazy girl?
Yeah.
And he fucking kicks. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
back.
I'm back. Jeez. Didn't we lock you in a dumpster? I got out.
I got out. That guy.
I love that movie.
Yeah. I can. That's probably
Very quotable movie.
the movie that got me into Will Ferrell.
I
don't think
yeah.
I don't think I had ever seen any like big time Will Ferrell movies before that. I've been like, yo, this guy's fucking funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's an underrated Vince Vaughn movie, too. Everything he does in that movie is good, too.
What's another good Vince Vaughn movie?
Oh, he has a ton of... have you ever actually seen the movie... this is a little obscure. So, actually, I'll start with this. Have you ever seen Swingers?
That's one where they
Him
like
and Favreau?
kill a prostitute
No, that's...
in Vegas.
I think you're thinking of... fuck. That's got...
Very Bad Things.
Very Bad Things. That's got Jeremy Piven in it. And Christian Slater? And Jon Favreau? I can't remember all the guys in that movie. That's a great movie, though. I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that movie. No, Swingers was the movie where it's like Vince Vaughn's first big movie with him and Jon Favreau. It's basically just a movie about like a couple buddies who were like trying to make it in LA as actors or whatever. But they kind of had like a spiritual sequel to that movie, which was this movie called Made. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau like trying to be like mobsters kind of, and it's fucking hilarious. Vince Vaughn in that movie is so goddamn funny the entire time. I recommend it highly.
I wonder if that's like the genesis of that guy who's like, Mom, the meatloaf.
fuck. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, Vince Vaughn's best movie though, I mean, it's probably Old School. He was really good in a movie called Return to Paradise too, actually, which is like a dramatic role. But a buddy of his.
I think we've talked about this before.
Have we? All right, the guy who gets like locked up in like
Yeah.
a Malaysian prison or something. Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I remember talking to you about it.
Yeah. Fucking GTA 6. What's up with GTA 6? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, they had like a release, like they had like a media release.
Yeah.
And it looks real and shit like that. But it's like, I love their like, whatever you would call it, the way that they throw like a curveball to like not get sued for like copyright infringement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's like going through it, and it's like, it's basically just showing like cutscenes from like, if you even want to call it animation anymore. I don't know what the fuck it is now. But it's like the Miami Dolphins, like the guy, you see a guy wearing an NFL jersey, and it's the color of the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say Dolphins; it says manatees.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, that's hilarious. That like, because most other places they're like, no, it's like the Miami Sharks or something. Like they make it cool. You know what I mean? But like, what's even dumber than a dolphin? I'll make him the fucking manatees. Like whoever did that coding has to be like an AFC East guy.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, you know what I mean? He's like a
probably a Jets fan.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe. I just think like everybody else in the AFC East has been such a lovable loser for so long that like, what do you even hate on them for?
What, the Dolphins? Well, I think
like even as a Patriots fan, like you're not sitting here being like, "Oh, those fucking goddamn Dolphins." Maybe
you should, because they fucking had your number in fucking December in Miami.
I was just gonna say like at the end, but like what did the Dolphins? The only thing I can think of, the year that the
Pennington.
No.
Okay.
This is more recent. You probably have to be a Patriots fan to remember this. It's when they put Gronkowski on safety.
Yeah.
And he like blows the play, right?
Yeah, that was a December in Miami, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was at Miami, but it was later in the season, and the Patriots, I think it might have been the last game of the season.
Yeah, they had the fucking crazy play.
And the Patriots end up losing home field advantage because of that game.
Yeah.
And they had a chance to repeat because of this, and now instead of playing the AFC Championship game at home, they go to
Arrowhead.
lose to Peyton Manning.
Oh, was it Peyton?
They lose to the Broncos this year.
Oh, right, yeah.
They lose to Peyton Manning's Broncos at the AFC Championship game in Denver. But if they don't blow this fucking game, then, you know what I mean? They would have been hosting the AFC Championship game at home.
Yeah.
Instead. So, like, but really, like, the point that I'm trying to make is, like, you're sitting here as a Patriots fan being like, you know, the Colts, the Broncos, the Chiefs, like, all these guys that knocked you out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, you're not, like...
Fuck the Dolphins.
Yeah, because you're not, like, the regular season isn't concerning to you. You know what I mean? You don't have these issues where it's like, oh, we would have made the playoffs if it wasn't for our divisional opponents.
Yeah.
Like, that's the lowest level of, like, being a bitter NFL fan. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's why I feel like Jets-Dolphins is like a pretty heated rivalry just because of the fact that the Jets were so pissed off that they weren't the ones that drafted Marino. Because the year they drafted Marino was the same year they drafted Ken O'Brien, who, if you don't remember Ken O'Brien, it's because he wasn't as good as Dan Marino.
Yeah. I don't even really remember watching. I barely remember watching Dan Marino play, man.
Yeah. I'm just saying, so like that period of time, though, the Dolphins and Jets hated each other.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
There was like a rivalry. Like Patriots, Jets about Belichick and Parcells and all that.
Right, yeah. So obviously everyone hates the Patriots the most in that division. But of all of the other rivalries, like if Patriots against everyone else is the number one, Patriots, Bills, Patriots, Jets, Patriots, blah, 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 like the first rivalry that isn't the Patriots in the AFC East, I think is Jets-Dolphins. Like, from what I gather of, like, that fan base. Like, I don't think I don't think Jets-Bills is really that heated, and I don't think Dolphins-Bills is really that heated. You know what I mean? So, anyway, but that also comes from the fact that they've had one fucking team win the goddamn division for 20 of the last 24 fucking years.
Yeah.
So, fucking jerks. GTA 6, though, I don't know if this is true. This could just be like me getting like rage baited or whatever, like by some fucking... Somebody said that you're going to be able to go inside of the schools. Like, that's... I don't know, man. I mean, it's too far if that's true.
I mean, one of my favorite things to do in GTA is...
Kill the prostitutes.
No.
No?
Well,
right.
I mean,
I guess maybe I just exposed myself.
That's like the first day you have the game. Like you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
But once you figure out like the weapons codes and the health codes and stuff, and you
go
get
on a rampage.
You get good. Yeah, but you go on a rampage in the police station. Like you just go on a fucking shotgun and start blasting every fucking cop, bro. Like it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, especially from somebody who's like a skateboarder, like fuck the police kind of like X Games kid growing up. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it got no better
Yeah.
than taking the fucking shoddy into the police station and just fucking mowing him down.
How far
So,
back?
like,
How far back does your GTA shit go? Like, did you ever play like GTA like on the computer when it first came out?
not on the computer, but I had it for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like PlayStation 1, like the first Grand Theft
Yeah.
Auto.
The original Grand Theft
and
Auto.
I
Yeah.
hated. I could never get over the controls. The
Yeah.
controls were always so wonky.
Yeah. It was
that
a little
I
bit like
hated it.
Goofy style
Yeah.
almost. Yeah.
And then, I think it was kind of made like your own errors made the game harder.
Yeah.
You know, like that was what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Like the controllers were so hard to figure out and master that
Yeah.
that's kind of like.
And you never got out of the car, so it was just a car game basically. And yeah.
And well, if you did get out of the car, it was like so easy in that game to get run over by
Yes.
other traffic. Like
Yeah,
you're pretty much
Yeah.
dead. And then I don't know what came out for GTA. I remember my boy Mark Garing. I went to we both went to USF together, and he lived on campus, and he was Vince in old school. Like
Yeah.
he was the dude that always had like the tech. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like he had the Pioneer radio with the fucking manatee swimming across the thing. You
Yeah.
know, like all this shit. But he was like the tech guy. And fuck, what the hell techie thing were we just talking about?
What do you mean? GTA?
GTA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went over there, and he was playing the one that takes place in like Miami, like you're in
Yeah.
South Beach.
Number 4, I think that is. Yeah.
I think it might be 2 or 3, like Grand Theft Auto 3.
Grand Theft Auto 3 was the original. Like technically the original for like consoles and shit. The one where like it was like that was the original PlayStation release, I think, was GTA 3. Because GTA 1 and 2 were like on the computer, or I don't know what console they were on, but it wasn't PlayStation. I think GTA 3 was the first. GTA 4 was Vice City, and then GTA 5 was
Yeah, San Andreas is the most recent one. I
yeah.
think.
Or no, I'm thinking so what the fuck was, because there's 2 of them. There's the Vice City, maybe GTA, maybe that wasn't numbered.
like-
maybe it's GTA Vice City or something.
No,
Because I think
there is one. I think there is like a Grand Theft Auto, and then there's a Vice City,
yeah.
and then there's like something like there's like it's like the Grand Theft Auto, and then Vice City, and then like the continuation of that Grand Theft Auto,
yeah.
and then I want to say San Andreas comes out after that.
Yeah.
But the one
How
I
are we
had,
on GTA 6 only?
the one that I have the most time on is
Yeah.
San Andreas.
Oh.
Like San Andreas is the one that has like you can like have like gang wars and shit. Like you can.
Are you the black guy in
Yeah.
Yeah, San Andreas? Yeah.
CJ?
Yeah. I think the one I had the
And
most
this is the
time on
time
was
when I'm
number-
like
yeah.
listening to G Unit nonstop. So
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
I'm in G Unit and fucking CJ and Grand Theft Auto. Hell yeah.
So now that I'm thinking about it, do they restart then? Like, is GTA 3, when I'm thinking as GTA 3, is that actually not even GTA 3? Is that then just GTA? Because now that I think about it,
I think so.
I'm remembering a lot of GTA games where I'm like, they can't possibly be on 6. Because like I said, the first 2 weren't even for PlayStation. Then you had the PlayStation one where it was like the fucking Liberty City or whatever, like you're just a dude. Then you had the Miami one. Then you had that one that you're thinking of. Then you have the one where you're like the Russian dude. And then,
I think that's the first.
and then you have the most recent one before this one, which is the one where you're basically fucking Ray Liotta, or like, you know, you're the main guy is Ray Liotta. Even the Vice City one though, that's basically just a ripoff of fucking Carlito's Way. You ever see that movie?
no.
The Al Pacino movie? Fucking Sean Penn though, the lawyer in fucking Vice City is basically like a direct ripoff of Sean Penn in Carlito's Way.
Wikipedia is not helping me out.
Grand Theft, yeah, so 5 is that one. So what the fuck? 6 is coming out. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, they have too many GTAs right now.
Yeah. See,
Okay, yeah. So San Andreas isn't
doesn't-
a number. It's
It
just
doesn't even
Grand-
have a name.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just San Andreas, and I think the same thing with Vice City. I think that was just Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So I think 3 is technically the fucking yeah. And 2 was
Yeah. 2 still looks like it has like the overhead.
yeah, that's exactly because then GTA 3 was the big leap, where it was like all of a sudden it's now more of a game where you get out of the car and kill people.
Is that Liberty City?
Yeah, so that one's not numbered either. That's why. Yeah.
This is tough to figure out.
Yeah.
Now I do remember them all like individually though. I had forgot about the Russian guy for a minute.
Yeah, I didn't play that one that much. I'd say the one I played the most was probably just the original like GTA 3.
Mine was San Andreas and the one where you're in Miami.
Yeah.
Those were like the two that I played the most. But either way, I was using like weapons codes to kill police.
Oh, yeah.
That was like my number
Exactly.
one thing.
Yeah, I mean, your number one move was to just do all the weapons codes and then try and see how long you could like survive with 5 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah. All right. On that note, I gotta get going. Time flies.
All right.
Yeah.
Stop pissing on the public toilet seat, you fucking
Yeah.
bums. Like, share, and subscribe.
Whoever is shitting outside of our restaurant, stop doing it. It's disgusting.
Bro, remember when people would fucking piss on that side door and
No,
come
they
into
still-
the restaurant?
They still do that, but at least when I'm walking up, allow me the fucking 10 seconds from my car to the door without smelling human shit and being reminded why I never want to fucking work in Providence ever again. Like, allow me the fucking 1 minute walk on a nice summer day without smelling your shit on the sidewalk. Like, fucking animals, dude. Animals. I bet you the homeless guy who's doing it, though, isn't a subscriber to our podcast. If he is, though, fuck yourself. All right, later.